Okay, so we left off saying that A is going to go all the way to 4.05, right? Because we're going to count 4.01, 4.02, 4.03, and so on. And since it's on the fifth mark, we're ending it at 4.05. Now let's look at B. B is in between 4.3 and 4.4. And if we count all the tick marks in between, it's going to be, there are 10 tick marks between. Okay, and then B lands on the 8th mark. Okay, so same thing with B as it was with A. It is in between 4.3 and 4.4. So we're going to have to go even further into our decimal point. So it's going to have to be, we're going to count by 4.31, 4.32, 4.33, and so on until we hit the 8th mark. So if we keep counting by 0.01, we're going to land all the way on 4.38. And if we land on 4.38, we're going to run into the point B. So B is going to land on 4.38. Okay. Now, if we go on to C, C is in between 4.7 and 4.8. And once again, there are 10 tick marks between 4.7 and 4.8. So if we count, letter C falls on the 3rd mark. Okay, and then on the 3rd mark, we're going to have to count by 0.01 again. So we're going from 4.70, 4.71, 4.72, and then the 3rd mark, we're going to land on 4.73. Okay, so you'll find if you just keep counting, you're going to count 10 tick marks, and then once you hit the 3rd one, you're going to land on point C. Okay, so that is example 3, and we'll finish up with example 4, and then you guys can get started on your homework. So example 4 says, arrange these decimal numbers in order from least to greatest. So they give us 4.5, 4.25, and 4.81. Okay, so we see that they all have 4 in the ones place, okay? So that's not going to help us put it into least or greatest. But if we start looking at the number right behind the decimal point, so we see we have a 5, 2, and an 8. So since those are all different, we can compare those to see if they are greater than or less than each of them. So looking at these numbers, we see that 2 is less than 5 and 2 is also less than 8. So our smallest number is going to be 4.25. Okay, we've knocked that one out. So we're going to look at the 5 and the 8. Well, we know 5 is less than 8. So 4.5 is going to be our next one. And the only number that we have left is 4.81. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to look at the number that they don't have in common. So we first look at the ones place, the tens place, anything before the decimal. And if all of those are the same, then we go looking at the decimal point. Okay, so we saw that 2 is less than 8 and 5. So 4.25 was the first one, 4.5, and then 4.8. Sorry, I can't figure out how this works. Okay, so if you guys, again, have any questions about your homework, questions about the lesson, maybe I went too fast on something, sorry. Maybe there's something else that you have a question about, send me an email. If you all have a question about it, I'll try to pool you all together into one big group message, and then we can figure it out together. Okay. But yeah, keep doing your homework. I'll have something for you guys to grade it with tomorrow. Make sure you're using notebook paper. And if you have any questions, just ask me. See you guys later.